my people? It's your boy, Mr. Getting It Done. Welcome back to the channel. Today, oh my gosh, we're gonna talk about another gem, another topic that most of us really don't understand on a macro level, and that is inquiries, man. Today's video is gonna be about credit inquiries, okay? So simply put, a credit inquiry is when a lender, a financial institution, somebody that's extending you some form of credit checks your credit profile, your consumer profile, right? And it's called a hard pull because they actually access your report and they can see it, okay? So whenever a lender or a financial institution requests a copy of your report, and it's digital, it's not like a physical copy, it's all digital. You know, like you're gonna get a hard inquiry. It's what's called a hard inquiry. So there's two type of inquiries, right? There's a hard and then there's a soft. So the hard inquiry is when you go into a dealership, you fill out the credit application, giving them express permission to pull your credit, and then they go ahead and get a copy, right? And it's digital, it's not a hard copy, but they can see it, right? So that hard inquiry, now that inquiry is gonna be placed on your consumer profile, on your credit profile. Okay, and then there's a soft inquiry, which is where a lot of people don't know, but you know, when you start building credit, right, and you start applying for different credit for different websites, that information, your information is sold. Okay, so now other like American Express, Chase, Bank of America, all these people buy your information, and then they're able to solicit to you, right, via a soft pull. So a lot of us that receive, you know, pre-authorized, pre-approvals in the mail from different banks, whatever, credit unions, whatever the case is, those letters that we get for the pre-approvals for a certain amount, that comes from a soft inquiry. So they have checked your credit. It's a soft pull because it's not going to show up as a hard pull on your credit profile under the inquiry section, right? So it's not affecting your credit score. So that soft inquiry is what they use to pre-approve you for a certain amount, right? Based on what they can see. Now, when you receive that, let's say you receive an American Express pre-approval for $5,000, and you're like, okay, bet, I want that credit card. So now you take that pre-approval, you go online, you put in the pre-approval number that they have you for. Every pre-approval has like a number. So you put that number in on the American Express website, they're gonna see, okay, we sent this person a pre-approval. And when you use that number, a lot of people don't notice, you get a higher risk of approval because they've already pre-approved you. So you're actually going to them, putting in that pre-approval number, and then they're just confirming that, okay, we sent it to this person, their credit's good enough. That's why you got the pre-approval in the first place. Let's go ahead and approve them. Okay? So there's two type of inquiries. You have the hard inquiry that's on your credit report for 2 years, right? And then you have the soft inquiry that does not show up on your credit report, but you can access, right? A lot of credit monitoring agencies allow you to access and see what your soft inquiries are. So I always encourage people and my clients to go ahead and look at their soft inquiries so that way you can get a gauge of like who's actually checking your credit report. Again, soft inquiries do not affect your credit, so don't even trip on that. Only hard inquiries do. Hard inquiries are on your credit profile for up to 2 years. So it's very important that you apply for credit whenever you need to. You don't go out and apply for credit frivolously, because the more inquiries you rack up, the higher risk you have of being denied, right? So let's break this down. Let me give you an example. So you're only allotted, my people, you're only allotted 6 credit inquiries per 12-month period, okay? And that is significant because when you go to a dealership, right? Let's say, for example, you go to a dealership, and more often than not, people go to the dealership and they incur like 10 to 15 inquiries from one dealership, right? And if you don't buy the vehicle from that one dealership that you went to, and you go to another dealership, then you're gonna rack up another 10 to 15. And what happens is they tell you that it's considered one, right? Because when you go to each dealership, even though you have 10 to 15 inquiries, the dealership is looking at that as one inquiry because they see you shopping around. So to them, it's okay. But to the algorithm, you still have 15, 30, 20 inquiries, whatever the case is. So now that you have that many inquiries, bear in mind, for every one inquiry, you lose 3 to 5 points. So you can see how many points you can lose by just going out and trying to get a car from the dealership, right? So I highly recommend you always go to a credit union to get pre-approved, or to the bank that you have the best relationship with to get pre-approved. And that's another video, and that I'll talk about that. But when you go to a credit union, they only pull your credit one time. So you get one credit inquiry, you get one low rate out the gate the first time, right? Versus the dealership shopping you around. It's called shotgun. They take your credit report and they shotgun it to everybody in their network, and that's how you accumulate the 10 or the 15 credit inquiries. And what happens is, like I just mentioned, for every one inquiry, you at risk of losing 3 to 5 points. So when you leave that dealership, right? Let's say you lost three points per one inquiry. Let's say you got 10. That's 30 points that you just lost by going to the bank. By going to the dealership and trying to get that car, right? So 30 points is significant. Depending on where your score is, 30 points will put you in another bracket. You go from exceptional to good. You go from good to fair, fair to poor. 30 points is a lot, okay? So back to what I was saying. I digress. So you get 6 credit inquiries per 12-month period. Okay, so that's why it's extremely important that you apply for credit whenever you need it, not just for the fun of it. Okay, so and the fact that they stay on your credit report for 2 years says a lot. That means that as you go and you start applying for credit along your journey, other lenders can see who you applied for. They can see if you were denied, or they can see if you were approved. Now, the more credit you apply for, the more inquiries you have, the more it looks like you're credit thirsty. AKA, you might be in a pickle. You might be in a situation. You might be, strapped for cash, and you're out there just desperately applying for credit. Like, this is what was going through the bank's mind when they see all these inquiries on your credit report, versus just seeing like 1 here, 1 there, 2 there. You know what I mean? So another thing to bear in mind is credit inquiries, right? They start losing their effect after 60 to 90 days. Okay, let's use the higher number, which is 90 days. So after 90 days, if you get one inquiry, if you apply for an American Express credit card, right, and then you wait 90 days, you can apply for another credit card, or like a personal loan or auto loan, or whatever the case is, and it won't have a big effect. It's still going to have an effect, but it's lessened. So the longer that time period elapses that inquiry's been on your credit report, then the less of effect it has, right? So after 1 year of an inquiry being on your credit report, it's not even factored into the algorithm. It has 0 effect. Even though it's on there for 2 years, it has 0 effect after 1 year on your FICO score, right? It's not factored into the algorithm, right? So keep that in mind. So you don't have to wait 2 years to apply for, another credit card or whatever, but the longer you're able to wait between inquiries and new accounts, the better it is going to be for you in terms of approval. Okay, so quick recap. Credit inquiries, there's 2 types. There's hard and there's soft, right? You're allotted 6 credit inquiries per 12-month period. Okay, credit inquiries stay on your credit report for up to 2 years. Okay, they lose their effect, and they're not even factored into the algorithm after 1 year. But after 90 days, they start losing their effect. They start, and when I say effect, they start dragging down your score after 90 days. Okay, and then as it starts to season out, then you'll start to see your score get some traction, because now the inquiries are losing their effect on your score. Now, new inquiries are 10% of your credit score. Okay, so that's why inquiries, like, you can't let those fall by the wayside. They're very important, and you got to manage your inquiries, because 10% of your credit score comes from credit inquiries, right? And like I said before, if you go to the dealership and you get an excessive amount, that can be the difference between you losing your torch, going from exceptional to good, good to fair, fair to bad, or poor, excuse me. So my people, I hope that that's helped you understand what inquiries are, how you should be applying for credit, right? The number of inquiries that you have. And don't get me wrong, you can dispute inquiries, and that's another video, right? So if you rack up all these inquiries, there's ways and there's strategies that we can use to get those removed, right? And that's another video. But when we're talking about just in general, you going out and applying for credit and stuff like that, or a loan or a mortgage, like, you need to be strategic in how you apply, because if you have excessive inquiries and trying to apply for a mortgage, you're most likely going to get denied. Same thing with a credit card. If you applying to multiple credit cards and getting denied, and then American Express, Chase Bank, Capital One, etc., they see all these inquiries on your credit profile, they're gonna think like, okay, this guy's credit thirsty or this girl's credit thirsty, and they're all over the place. Like, we're just gonna go ahead and deny them. Okay, so be strategic in your inquiries, right? You have 6, so use those wisely. And again, if you get excessive inquiries from a dealership, there's ways to get those removed. Okay, so that way you won't have all these excessive inquiries holding down your score and making you look bad in the lender's eyes. So my beautiful people, if that information has helped you, please help your boy out. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your dealership experience is or was whenever you went to the dealership. How many inquiries you racked up and how your score was affected by it. Drop it below so people can see. I'll share my experience in the comments as well. And if you're stopping by the channel for the first time, hit that bell notification so you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. And let's grow together, my people. We out here. I'm trying to help everybody learn about credit. I'm taking the macro, breaking it down into the micro, so that, you know what I mean, we're not scared of this credit thing, and we can start learning how to play this credit game so that we can become free and create wealth for our families. My beautiful people, I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's healthy. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.